So you need at least that helmet to give yourself a chance to stop the red ammo, and you can't even get that helmet unless you max out your workbench to level 5. The protection I need against the ammo that you can bring in, and there's where the balance kind of falls through. But I can't even bring that in. I can't bring in the armor, but you can bring in the ammo. So I'm already at a statistical disadvantage, irrelevant to skill. Talking about they need to add Armory and Northridge just to normals, because the map would be fun if I know it's only up to 450k, but we're never going to win against a bunch of juicers with level 5, 6, you know. It's not because we're bad, it's because we literally are ill-equipped. I mean, I'm not against like level 5, level 6 ammo or $1 million worth of gear, but that's what you play Forbidden Zone, where there's no cap, because it literally comes down to who has the better ammo / better gun and who has better armor and headwear to, you know, pretty much tank all your shots, unless you're using exactly what, you know, level 5, level 6 ammo. So when the minimum is 100k, but the max is 1 million, that's too big of a spread to have it well balanced, because most players aren't bringing in 1 mil unless they're pretty well off in this game. I would say the average player is going to bring in between 200 and 500k, which is still useless against the people bringing in, you know, level 5, level 6. Like that last guy, he had a level 6 helmet, I believe. Well, even with level 4 ammo, which normally should be pretty good, you don't even have a chance. So it's not down to who has better aim or who's a better player, it's who had more money and better equipment, which makes it unbalanced.
It would be better, like, if they don't want to take down the mil cap, do you think at least upping the minimum requirement would help? Like, let's say you can't enter Armory without bringing at least 500k worth of gear. Just right off the bat, you cannot enter it. You need 500k.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, that would make it closer to the higher end, but it does punish the players without tons and tons of money.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna run over to the tower. So I think they need to add this map. They need to add all the maps into normals, keep this as it is. Then you have Forbidden Zone, which is no cap, but at least we would be able to play with a cap of up to 450 on maps other than Farm or Valley. So at least we're getting players with balanced gear. So it really does come down to skill and aim at that point, because we could have the best aim in the world, but someone with level 6 gear can just turn around and 2-tap you, because the 15 shots you put into them just didn't matter. Because we do pretty well when we play on Farm and Valley, when we're bringing in around 450 worth of stuff. It always has seemed very balanced and relatively fun, but it's only when we get to Armory or Northridge and we bring in kind of our same go-to kits and come across like a squad with 1 million worth of gear each, it's like, well, we're just at a gear disadvantage, not a skill disadvantage, which kind of makes the game unbalanced in my opinion.
Well, it definitely does. It just makes it a bit less fun, because I mean, I want to be able to bring 1 mil worth of gear. I really do, but
I just need more. I need 1,000 more hours of game time and just keep saving, and then it's fine. Which is why there's Forbidden Zone, where there's no cap on gear. Because as from a map design point of view, it's really not that bad. Same with Northridge. It's a nice wide open map. Armory's fun, but oh yeah, he ran outside. Yep. Because like I have a legitimately fun time every time we play Farm or Valley. Everything seems balanced. The map is fun. The gear, like cap, makes it pretty good. Like you can kill people without, you know, coming across a big juicer that just absorbs all your shots. There's a little bit of risk because, I mean, for the average player, bringing in 450k is not necessarily that cheap. I mean, we play this game a lot and I only have like 25 mil, and I'm not going to want that's if I brought in 1 mil every time I came here, that means I can play the game 25 more times. Now, obviously, if you don't die, but that's a bit too much to
I was gonna say that's
risk.
A very big ask.
Yeah, I don't want to risk that much. I don't want to sweat that much. I want to just have fun, and that's why I have the most fun on Valley and Farm. And I think I would have, even all of us playing, I think we would have more fun playing Armory or Northridge when we know it's at least a balanced fight where, hey, when we come across people, they probably have similar gear than us or similar gear to us. Because if I die because you have better aim, that's fine. I'm never going to be mad about that. But if I'm dying because my shots can't get through because you spent $1 mil on gear and I spent 500k and you spent 3 mil on red ammo and I spent 500,000 on level 4 ammo, I could have the best aim in the world and I will still lose that fight. So it's my success in that gunfight or that game is now no longer based on skill. That doesn't really seem very satisfying, but imagine just like the ultra casual gamer when he wants to do his missions, like his season missions, which are kind of what make games fun to like work towards something. And this man has to go to Armory and do all these things we've been trying to do. I don't think most people are going to get through all those missions. So it's taken me a week to do 3 missions, but a week and a half or 2 weeks to do all 50 other missions. So imagine just a casual player wanting to play through the season. I think they're just going to get stuck, A, because they don't want to try that hard, and B, because they're not going to have enough money to bring in enough gear to have a fair shot on Armory or Northridge to complete those missions. Not because they're not good at the game, they're just simply at a disadvantage due to economy and balance. Because like, let's see, so normal, we can play Farmer Valley up to 450k. Lockdown, which is what we're doing, 100,000 to 1 mil. That is a huge spread, and it costs you 20k just to get in, but then you can play any mission or any level. Forbidden Zone, minimum 300k but no cap. You can do Farm, Northridge, Armory, or TV Station. And then of course you can play solo on Northridge or TV Station. Most people that play video games, I think, are just your average gamer, maybe a little more on the, you know, more, not try hard's the wrong word, not sweaty, but just like they care more. You know, it's kind of like Tarkov. It's like an extraction shooter. I feel like you have to be a kind of a gamer to want to play an extraction shooter. I feel like you actually have to try because there is some stuff on the line because you can lose all your stuff if you die. I think maybe above average gamer, and I could be wrong, but I feel like that's where normals comes in. Cap at 450. You're not going to bring in crazy good gear. You can bring in a decent gun and some decent armor, and I feel like you winning or losing or succeeding or, you know, extracting or not extracting on normals on Farmer Valley really comes down to, did you just play well? Did you win your gunfight? Did you have good positioning? Did you move around the map good? Because you're not worried about having to hide from everybody because, oh, my gun's only 200k with level 4 ammo. The other squad I see running across the field looks like they have a tier 6 helmet with level 6 ammo, so I literally can't fight them or have a fair fight, so I can't play the game right now. I have to wait for them to run away. Well, no, I want to be able to get out there and fight. It's a shooter game. Taking everything we've said kind of into consideration is, you know, imagine if we could play Armory or Northridge and normals and you are getting, you know, you're able to get kills and you're doing your missions and you're having fun and it seems balanced. And yeah, we're going to die here and there, but you're going to get some kills here and there and you feel like you're playing well. And if you die, it was because the other person had better aim, not because, you know, they had better ammo, guns, whatever.
I'm already playing at a disadvantage. Fine, that's a disadvantage I've brought upon myself because I'm playing with people on the other side of the planet. I'm fine with that.
Well, and
for wanting to explore. Like, I still have not been inside of Armory properly. Jake and I, we went down to the basement and got fucked up immediately. And I've played how many hours of this game now? I have over 88 hours, and I still have not been able to explore Armory because
we've been
I don't
to
have the budget.
All of that, and I think we've been to the Armory map at least 100 times. I think I've been in there maybe 2 times top, maybe like down in the actual, like, you know, core of the Armory in the rooms. I've been in the main door to get in, and then there's 4 just juicers that just mow me down. I'm like, all right, well, I have nothing to, I want to go in. I want to attempt to fight my way in, but I'm so outclassed that it's 99%. It's unrealistic. It's not because of lack of trying. It's a lack of, if I don't have a mil worth of gear and red ammo, I don't even stand a fighting chance. So I realistically can't just go in there and risk that amount of gear knowing that I know, you know, I'm going to get literally mowed down.
I don't think the devs have really thought about, or maybe they did, but they just chose to not do it. If you have a place like Armory, like the Armory, where you pull the levers and everything. People who go there with a million, gear and whatever, they've gone there a couple of times, like they will start to know the layout of the level. Kind of like how you learn any map. Like, oh, that's a high point. This is a low point. This is a very hot spot. This is a good sniper point. If you never get to see the inside, if you never get to explore the map, you are never going to win firefights in there because you don't know what the place looks like. You don't know where the corridors are. You don't know where to peek, the windows,
Because that's also a good point. The being able to learn the map through repetition. You're not gonna on normal. That's easy to do, but on Lockdown Zone, which is the only place, of course, forbidden, the only place you can even play Armory or Northridge or TV station, you're already at a map knowledge disadvantage. Not that you can't learn it via playing more, the people that play more are going to know the map more than people who don't play, of course, but at least be nice for everyone at all levels to start learning them. And that's why I think all maps, everything we've talked about, all leads me to saying I think all maps should be available in normal, so all skill levels can play all maps in different categories based on their play style and how, and what their preferences are. Because Lockdown Zone can be fun, Forbidden Zone can be fun when you want to bring a mill and sweat and try and get some good loot. But I'd also like to play Northridge, TV station, Armory on normal and just have a fun casual gaming experience with friends. I don't want to sweat. And I would argue when we play Farm or Valley is when we have the most fun. It seems balanced. The gunfights are fun. Absolutely. They're intense. On Armory or anything I do in Lockdown or Forbidden Zone, it's, hey, there's a man, I'm dead. Hey, there's a man, I'm dead. Hey, there's not really any, it's like, it feels like I'm playing Call of Duty, and that's fine. It's a different way to play the game. Again, I'm not trying to say, oh, you shouldn't bring $1 million worth of gear and sweat and run around and loot. Like, if that's what you want to do, by all means, the game mode is there for you. But there's also a big player base that in my opinion, don't want to play that way. They want to play the map and they want to play the game, but more casually, up to 450. Or, I think the gear cap really is what balances it, but the ammo not being a part of that gear cap can also offset it, because even if these guys are capped at 1 mil, they might have 5 mil worth of level 6 ammo. Last known was at the truck. Never saw him. 40
That's
mil.
Level 6 ammo. Level 6 ammo.
Yeah, I got shot by the same thing. So you need at least that helmet to give yourself a chance to stop the red ammo, and you can't even get that helmet unless you max out your workbench to level 5. The protection I need against the ammo that you can bring in, and there's where the balance kind of falls through. Fine, if you want to bring the ammo, fine, but I got to be allowed to at least bring in the thing to protect me from it. Unfortunately, the way Lockdown Zone works, being capped at 1 million, I can't bring in the thing I need. That's kind of also what we talked about. So I'm already at an unfair disadvantage. It no longer comes down to skill. It comes down to just a weird imbalance. In Forbidden Zone, I wouldn't be complaining because there's no cap. I could bring in anything I want. I could bring that in, could bring in the tier 6 helmet and the tier 6 armor to protect from your tier 6 ammo, but I can't even bring that in, but you can. I can't bring in the armor, but you can bring in the ammo. So I'm already at a statistical disadvantage irrelevant to skill, which is where, again, the balancing needs to be fixed. And obviously, by no means does red ammo ever need to be brought into normals, but it can, I'm pretty sure. So that's even worse because normals is where all the new players play. You think you want a new player that's ever going to spend money on your game getting shot by a man with red ammo that he doesn't even have access to until he upgrades his workbench and plays for another 100 hours? That guy's never going to play your game again.
I think if two things are implemented, red ammo is only allowed in zones that are uncapped, because then I think it's fair. It's uncapped for a reason. If you want to bring red ammo for uncapped, it's fair. Anyone could bring any amount of gear. You could have 65 mil on you if that's even possible.
Recap everything we've said. No red ammo on anything but Forbidden Zone. All levels available on normal. And I think that's the perfect compromise to at least start with.
But also, then you still have the problem of people having crazy season missions and normal missions that they have to get through. The Armory missions have taken me forever.
You're stuck. The normal player, and you're not a casual player, but you're not bringing in a mill, because it's no fun for you to just run in, bring a mill, do a mission and die. Like, we would have fun doing these missions if we were playing in normals, because we have a fair chance to fight, which is what I want. I want to go into Armory and have a fair fight against other squads, but we will never have a fair fight because we're not bringing in at least a mill worth of gear. It's a bit unbalanced
and once again,
there.
honestly, I think the red ammo is an even worse problem, because as we just looked up, you legitimately cannot do shit. If someone just has red ammo, you will lose. What is it? Level 5 workbench?
Yeah, you had to max out your workbench and then buy red ammo, and that's fine because the ammo doesn't count toward your gear, which again is fine for Forbidden Zone, but in Lockdown, the helmet I need to wear to protect from the red ammo you can bring in, I can't because it exceeds my gear cap, so I can never win against your ammo.
Unless you bring red ammo as well.
Sure, which isn't realistic for most players. I started the night with 25 mil, now I'm at 20 mil, and I think I've killed 2 people compared, if we've played 15 matches and I've killed 2 people and I've lost 5 mil. I think every time we play normals I can get 3 to 5 kills per and actually have fun and loot and make money, but yeah, it just doesn't happen when you're not bringing a mill. No red ammo on anything but Forbidden, and all maps available on normal. I think that would increase the fun players have, their willingness to play the game more. That influences them more to spend real money on the game, which is the goal, obviously, as a company for the developers. They want players to spend money. Players aren't going to spend money unless they're happy with the game, and I think more players would be happy and play more and be more apt to spend money if those 2 changes were fixed or changed, because that really...
They're holding off because... What I'm trying to say is they're catering to one specific set of players. They're catering to the sweats, the tryhards, because they know that they have them hooked.
But I don't know if
that's what's happening.
I don't know if those amount of players outweigh the casual player that just want to give an extraction shooter a try. Because remember, this is a Tarkov clone, but Tarkov you have to pay to play just to buy the game. This game is free to play. That's obviously enticing for a lot of people, because who wants to spend money on a video game? But I'll spend money on a game regardless if I'm having a good time, whether that's skins, CSGO, Valorant, League of Legends, whatever game you play, Fortnite, whatever, they all have the ability, they all have a marketplace you can buy skins. Well, I'm not going to spend money on skins for a game that I'm mad at or don't like. So the happier you make me, the more money I give you. Make your players happier by balancing a couple things in your game, and I bet they'd make more money that way. I think that would be a good business decision on their part, because at the end of the day, that's their only goal. It's the only reason they've made the game is to make money. They didn't make it just because they were bored and had nothing else to do. You're not going to spend money to be frustrated. You can do that for free. There's a game called Fishing Planet. It's a free-to-play fishing simulator, and you can buy like a pass to get better lakes and better gear. I've spent money on that game before. Yeah, it's a stupid fishing simulator, but it's actually pretty fun, and when I have a good time, I want to catch bigger fish and get a cool boat and some cool gear. That's fine. I'm paying for entertainment. If I'm not being entertained because your game is a bit unbalanced or I'm not having fun, I'm not going to pay for that because I'm miserable. I'm not having a fun time. So yeah, we'll see. I feel like, the developers are actually listening to the player base, and I'm sure they'll make changes here and there as time goes on, because for a free-to-play game, it does work well. It's the only game we've really been playing for the last few weeks, and that's not always easy to do, to keep 4 people, a whole group, playing the same game consistently. The gunfights are fun, the game feels good, the graphics look good. You don't have to spend real money to keep up and play, but red ammo and Forbidden Zone only, and all maps available in normals, and I think their player base would increase and more people would have a better time, and then in return spend more money. So, and if I had to pick 3 things in order, I would say all levels available in normal, no red ammo unless it's Forbidden Zone, and then better matchmaking. And I think that would increase overall positive player outlook on the game, which makes them happier, which means maybe they want more friends to try and play it with them, which means more opportunity for those people to spend money, meaning developers make more money and have more money to continue to work on the game and make it even better. And then players are having a better time, and there's more maps, and players have more fun and they spend more money, and kind of just a repeating cycle. And I think that's kind of a space that they're able to take advantage of, because Tarkov, you have to pay to play, you have to buy the game. And I would argue that's that's not a casual game, I don't think, but I think looter shooters can be fun at a casual level, and this game can cater to those players when done right. But right now, those casual players can only experience 2 maps, and they're going to get bored way too quick. And the people can technically bring red ammo into normals, I'm pretty sure, and that just is that you're going to lose players after an hour or two if you get shot by red ammo in farm when you're level 15. 25k a round in my backpack right now, and it doesn't affect my equipment value, but I will literally shred any armor in this lobby, because realistically you can't bring in higher than level 4 without going over your cap if you want to bring in a decent gun, but that's not realistic. So what am I going to do, bring in level 6 ammo against some level 20s and normals and just ruin their day? So yeah, we played Armory for 5 hours. I've technically had no fun tonight, but now we're going to go into farm and we'll see if that changes. You're going to lose players after an hour or two if you get shot by red ammo in farm when you're level 15. 25k a round in my backpack right now, and it doesn't affect my equipment value, but I will literally shred any armor in this lobby, because realistically you can't bring in higher than level 4 without going over your cap if you want to bring in a decent gun, but that's not realistic. So what am I going to do, bring in level 6 ammo against some level 20s and normals and just ruin their day? So yeah, we played Armory for 5 hours. I've technically had no fun tonight, but now we're going to go into farm and we'll see if that changes.